Welcome to the Local Fix. I'm Steven.
I'm Liz.
We have a great show for you tonight. It feels like it's been a while. We've got some quick hitters just like always. Here we go.
After benefiting from a non-call to beat Detroit just a week ago, the Cowboys found themselves the victims of yet another controversial decision by the refs. There were no celebrations or uncomfortable hugs as the Cowboys season came to an end. And as the ruling on the field was made, everyone in the owner's box was beside themselves, except Chris Christie, who appeared to begin to cannibalize himself in an attempt to disappear.
In the world of hip-hop, rapper Kevin Gates recently found out the girl he's been having sex with for the last 3 months is family. While it's illegal to marry your first cousin in Louisiana, it's not illegal to have sex with them repeatedly. So Kevin went to the internet to say he isn't going to mess with a good thing, he's going to keep on keeping on. He also hopes his future kids will grow up to be musicians just like him.
Over the break, Kevin Sumlin's pool boy leaked news of the possible new A&M defensive coordinator on Twitter. Sumlin immediately responded with a tweet to inform the young man that that was his last day of employment. It's reported that the pool boy was forced to go back to his old job as a backup quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Although they misspelled their own name in the opening ceremony of the national championship game, the Ohio State Buckeyes did, however, learn to spell INT and TD as they rolled to a convincing win over the Oregon Ducks. It was later revealed that the missing O holder was kidnapped, and this photo was released by the authorities to help lead to the capture of those involved.
It's been a few weeks since our last show, and it may be a little old, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk about or use the opportunity to mention the Florida Gator pooping his pants during the Birmingham Bowl as Florida steamrolled over East Carolina.
I guess you didn't know that when you need a big first down and your white pants turn poopy brown, diarrhea.
Why? Really?
Or when you need a touchdown and your butt begins to pee, diarrhea. Or...
All right. We've got a great show for you tonight. Steven will be sitting down to talk to Joe Dakota, owner of Resolution Solutions, about creative ways to tackle everyday problems. And Jimmy interviews Miss Dixie of the historic Horseshoe Lounge on South Lamar.
Justin will have his This Just In segment, and Liz will be chatting with her own Jack Williams, who is currently on quarantine at his home with a very contagious infection.
It's going to be a great show. We'll see you at the desk right after this.
Hey there, Justin Simmons for This Just In. We are talking playoffs of the college football variety. Now, we'll have to admit, although I wish they would add more teams, the first ever FBS college football playoffs was a success. It restored lost traditions, having meaningful games played on New Year's Day, and the games were all entertaining to watch. Oregon had the best team in the world with the worst luck. Injuries and suspensions did not help their chances, but having to go against a sneaky good Ohio State team proved to be their kryptonite. Oregon's defense, well, it relies on speed, and it had not faced an elite running back attack that Ohio State possessed. The offensive line just slobber knocked around the Oregon defense, eating up the game clock, and Ezekiel Elliott did the rest. The Oregon offense just never really got it going, and even when it did, the defense could not hold up its end of the bargain. You have to give credit to Urban Meyer. Not many coaches could win a national championship playing with a third-string quarterback with no starts until the Big Ten championship game. And talking about that quarterback, since everybody else has put their 2 cents in regarding Cardale Jones, let me add mine. If I was him, I'd go pro. His stock would never be higher than this. However, so not to end up like Tim Tebow, I would consider he should switch to tight end if he can catch. Coming up next, something better than the NFL Pro Bowl right here on the Local Fix.
Thanks for joining us so far into our first episode of the new season. And to get us moving forward, Steven has some great tips for some of y'all out there and a guest with some great advice.
Thank you, Liz. Well, it's the new year, and you know what that means. Time for everyone to set a bunch of goals they can't keep. Well, it's no different in sports. There are players all over the country looking to rebound from a lackluster 2014, some more than others. With that being said, here are a few suggestions for resolutions to a few of my favorite sports stars. Ray Rice needs to put his idle hands to work and put his troubled elevator rides in the past and get to work on a new NFL team. Adrian Peterson could try and do some youth outreach by buying some kids some new underoos or something. Just anything that doesn't look like the X-Men swallowed the Avengers. Kobe Bryant, get relevant. Peyton Manning, quit. And finally, LeBron needs to stop being a passive-aggressive baby and take notes from the NWO Hulk Hogan. Lose the headband and the bottom bitch face. New Year's resolutions aren't easy. We all know this. No matter how good our intentions are, we more times than not find ourselves eating blocks of cheese in the dark before February 3rd. To expound on this and to give us a little advice on how to finish what we start is world-renowned resolution expert Joe Dakota, owner of Resolution Solutions. How are you doing, Joe?
Namaste, Stephen. Let's unite and master this interview.
Well, okay, Joe, so I understand you run a very unusual business. Would you mind explaining the services you offer to the public?
Absolutely, Stephen. Resolution Solutions has withstood 7 years of trial by fire. What started as a boot camp for chubby toddlers was later burned to the ground by a group of starving toddlers, only to rise from the ashes and become the first life gym to offer 24-hour assistance to any problem related to a New Year's resolution.
So anyone looking to get their life in shape for the new year has a 24-hour support system?
Well, that was the idea, yeah. But
Okay.
due to our legal team's failure to include the term New Year, or to define a resolution, or to include information regarding compensation in our membership contract, we actually made no money and operated for a loss during the first 2 years. We were then forced to abandon the brick and mortar, and now I just answer calls on my cell phone.
That doesn't really sound legit. So how does this whole thing...
Sorry, Stephen, I've got to take this.
Okay.
Namaste, Resolution Solutions.
Hey, Joe, this is Terry. I back got in again, and this time it's in my car.
Calm down, Terry. Here's what you're going to do. Grab a tennis ball, some fly paper, a rock hammer, and an apple pie. Now you're going to wrap the fly paper all around the tennis ball, open the door to your car, and throw it as hard as you can at the inside of your windshield. This is going to create what science calls a pinball machine effect. Now, bats can't resist balls. That's a story as old as time. Once he goes for it, and he will, he's going to get stuck to that fly paper and stuck to the inside of your car. Now you're going to grab that rock hammer, aim for the base of the skull, and smash.
Wait, can I take the bat out of the car first?
Terry, you called me. Now after you brain that bat, you take that apple pie and you smush it through the vents on your dash. That'll cover up the scent of dead rodent during the summer months.
Thanks, Joe.
Namaste.
Okay, well, that was impressive. So this is the kind of thing you do for people on a regular basis?
Well, Stephen, that's just one example of... Sorry. Again.
Oh, please, go right ahead.
Resolution Solutions. Namaste.
Hey, I don't know if I should be really calling with this, but my wife's Aunt Jenny is coming to town, and I really don't want to go to dinner with her. Is there any way I can get out of it without making my wife mad?
Absolutely, stranger. You're going to need a Richard Simmons workout tape, some Vaseline, a black wig, sunglasses, and a GoPro camera. Watch the videotape whilst rubbing the Vaseline all over your body. This will make you glisten like a Greek god. Now put the wig and the glasses on and go to Aunt Jenny's motel lobby. Wait around for her to come down. Do the workout moves you learned from the tape. is an irresistible recipe for seduction. Once she takes you back to her room, set that GoPro in a place that will catch the maximum number of coital positions. Now, when the Tinder act is done, unveil your identity in the camera, threatening to show the tape unless she cancels the dinner.
That's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
Live well, friend.
All right, well, that was definitely an out-of-the-box solution. But let me ask, what or who has to deal with the ramifications of this? And I mean, again with the...
Sign the deal in blood and semen. You want me to do this one blind?
I mean, I wish you would.
All right. Hello. Listen, you're going to need a gerbil, some cinnamon floss, 3 cups of melted butter. Stick the gerbil into the butter, slick it all up, and tie a long piece of floss around one of its hind legs. Now throw it down the drain. You're going to want to wait until you hear a loud pop, and then you're going to pull that dead critter right back up. That'll take care of it.
What would we ever do without you? Thanks, Joe.
Namaste, my friend.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks, Joe, for coming in. You indeed are a problem-solving expert. Joe Dakota, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Dakota.
Drive hybrids.
Welcome back to This Just In. Well, I got exactly what I wanted for Christmas and a little bit more. Thanks to you wonderful fans out there, I got more of those Instagram and Twitter followers. And thanks to my parents, I got this badass new tablet. But even more awesome is the fact that the Dallas Cowboys not only just made the playoffs, but actually won a playoff game for the first time since 2009. Of course, drama always follows the Dallas Cowboys and their 24-20 win over the Detroit Lions. The game was marred with a controversy as the instant replay overturned that pass interference call that would have probably helped the Lions win that game. And against the Green Bay Packers, it was an instant replay that was overturned. What looked like to be a Dez Bryant catch that would have set up at least first and goal and a possible chance at a touchdown to possibly win at Lambeau Field. The Packers went on to win 26-21. Now, one play doesn't determine a football game, but it was a tough pill for Cowboy fans, including myself, to swallow. And I assure you that I definitely shouted out some obscenities at the television that I can't repeat here. But you have to give credit where credit is due. Aaron Rodgers showed why he is probably the best quarterback in the National Football League. Even with only one good leg, he played like the league's most valuable player when it mattered most. But now there is good news going for the Cowboys going forward. Tony Romo played like an elite quarterback in the NFL this year. The offensive line should be a solid unit for years to come, and they'll do their best to re-sign Dez Bryant and DeMarco Murray. Re-signing Jason Garrett and defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli looks to be imminent. But hey, come on. I came on here on the very first episode of Season 2 and told you not to expect much from the Cowboys, but they really shocked the sports world this year with the way they played this season. A great job to them, and yes, I'm already hoping for a Super Bowl come next year. We have more Local Fix coming right at you.
Welcome back to the desk. We're all pasty because it's winter, and Liz has some important to say.
Like always, bowl and playoff season means lots of football watch parties, and all of these parties mean stuffing your face with apps and enough barbecue to give you the meat sweats. One of our Local Fix crew members hasn't been so lucky this year. Jack Williams has been on quarantine with a highly contagious staph infection. He's been alone for 3 weeks in a treatment facility, and he just recently was allowed to return home. So, without further ado, let's welcome him in a new segment called Now We're Cooking. Jack, how are you?
Liz, I am great. I have face staph, but staph doesn't have me. You know what? I can fit a thimble in my face hole. You know how I know that? Because I did it. Hey, enough about my morning. Let's get cooking, all right? Liz, you were a hostess in college, right?
How'd you know that?
Well, you got this whole right this way vibe. What? Give me a Jack party of one, real quick. Come on.
Jack, party of one?
Right here, right here. Can I have a booth? Boy, it's good to have human interaction. I hadn't talked to a person in a long time, man. I started naming my meds. Foxy and Molly are in a tiff. Look, I don't want to get into it. They might be listening, so it's a long story, all right? So, cooking. You got any requests, Liz?
Do you have a good slider recipe?
Hey, crock pot it is. All right, good choice. Look, I've already put the ground meat Next, chopped onion, all right? 3 stalks of celery right here. That's it. 2 room temperature Foxy pills.
What are you cooking? I don't think meds should go in a crock pot.
You know, that's a good point, Liz. I preheated this, and now I'm going to add 2 vulture feathers and a lock of Ray Parker Jr.'s hair, all right?
Ray Parker Jr., the guy that sings the Ghostbusters song?
Wait, he did that too? Hey, you know what beats loneliness? Well, besides lip syncing to Barry Manilow in a silk robe, it's a whoopee cushion. You know, it also doubles as a hot water heating pad, man. These antibiotics, they're getting hard on my stomach, Liz. It's tough.
Sounds like it's hard on your senses, too. So, what about this crockpot creation?
I'm sorry, you can't come over. Look, I'm not removing the foils from the windows anymore. I mean, I just put them up. The last part of this crockpot creation, you know, it's a secret ingredient. It's called wild grouse. This is flavor bursting like through the door of a DEA agent in a trailer park, all right? Take it. Yeah. Boy, I'm starting to miss human interaction. And I ain't talking about the reality show on TLC. I'm talking fleshy flesh. Look, I'm talking playing Uno with your Nana kind of connection, all right?
Well, maybe we can come visit, stop by and say hello.
That's nice, Liz. But look, this crockpot won't be ready for another 6 hours, and by that time, I hope to be asleep faster than a Kardashian watching C-SPAN. But look, can you come over and pay an Uber driver or something? I'm getting low on my Molly Ringwalds, and Foxy doesn't like to play alone, if you know what I mean, right?
We rarely know what you mean. Take it easy in isolation, and we'll see you when you get out.
Whoa. Bring me a coloring book and a Mad magazine. Look, I'm lonelier than a chubby girl at a bachelorette party. You gotta help me. Somebody, Liz, Steven, Jimmy, somebody.
We can send Justin. Now you're being picky. Goodbye, Jack. Enjoy your crockpot creation.
Seamus, Doug, that intern dude, anybody, come on.
You call my name? You're doing a great job.
Is that even real?
That was Now We're Cooking with Jack Williams. We wish him a speedy recovery. More local fix coming up next.
Bonjour and welcome to the International Sports Review. We have breaking news as the World Cup has been found. Well, half of it anyways, and we're talking about the original one. So Doug, please, ready the clock? And nous allons. The original base of the Jules Rimet Trophy was found in the basement of the FIFA World Cup headquarters. A new base was put on the trophy back in 1954. The original statue, along with the replacement base, was stolen in one of the world's greatest heights in 1983. The newly found base will be put on display in the World Football Museum in March of 2016. And I was told that trophy was not filed under a pile of bribe money. Je suis Charlie. More local fix in just a little bit.
Thanks for joining us for our first show of the new year. It's going to be another great season. Bye.
No, don't do that.
I don't spell out my apple box.
Hey, Joe, this is Terry. A bat got in again, and this time it's in my car.
You're not convincingly introing the show as Steven. Who is Steven? Really dig down and ask yourself that question.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Unicorns are definitely real.
Playing it in a tiff. Like, I don't want to get into it. It's a long story, all right? So.
Is that working for you? Is this what we're doing?